Hello and welcome to The Takeaway with Tyra. Thank you for joining me today. Now, so that you don't miss out on any of my updates, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also like hearing from you, so go ahead and like and comment. My guests are always exciting and have great things to share with us. So here we go. So hello and welcome once again to The Takeaway with Tyra. It's a happy Monday here for me because I'm staying indoors. It's windy out there on Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. So I'm happy that you each joined us today. And look over here, I have Rick Young with me all the way from Oklahoma. Rick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So good to see you. Folks, Rick has been an educator coach for 15 years in basically the school system, really, right, Rick?
Yes, this was private school, so private schools for 15 years.
Right. And also, you have been in network marketing for about 35 years. So when I first connected with you, I was asking you a few questions about OnPassive. And as it turned out, you joined OnPassive back in 2018 when it just begun and it barely had a name. So Rick, what would a person of your, the educator coach, the network marketing, what did you come in and see in OnPassive in those early days that drew you? You know, we hear that term, opportunity knocks. It's time to get over to that door. So what happened for you that this opportunity knocked, and yet it was just in its infancy, and you said yes? So take it away, Rick. Give us your lowdown.
Actually, I believe that OnPassive was started a few months before I got in. I got in December 2018. I think it had started in the middle of the year. So there were a few months that had passed before I had really popped on the opportunity to get involved. Now, one of the reasons I got involved because the person who was heading OnPassive, and at that time there was no name, there was no GoFounders or OnPassive, and I think we communicated through email and maybe a little bit of YouTube. So there was no video. There was actually just a plan or a process or a vision. So the vision grabbed first, but because of the person that it was, Ash Mufareh, I had been involved with other opportunities where Ash was a part of those different ventures. He was always one of the top builders or one of the top persons of earning at the time. So when I heard his story and I heard his vision, it was perfect because being out here this long, and I started with a lot of different companies, different ventures, different comp plans. And, you know, if you've been out here any time, you know how it has traditionally gone. And so what Ash came was a total different new concept, a different mousetrap. And he had put together those pieces that were missing from all of the different ones we've known all the way back to the originals, which would have been, say, for instance, in the industry of network marketing, or direct sales would have been Amway. And they broke down all the doors for this type of marketing that we're doing today, going through all the litigation and the different things. So, but now that type of marketing is taught in some of the most powerful business schools throughout the world. So they made a way for these type of business and opportunities to come forward. So it was really Ash's why that he decided to leave all those companies that he had been involved in. And he was very successful economically with the money that he made to turn around and say, because I think he, like many people, said, this is the last straw. I'm either going to do it myself or I'm just going to go to another different industry, a different area. But this industry has created more millionaires than any other industry that's out there. And just the concept of being able to have or get or receive a percentage of a number of people, J. Paul Getty, 1% of 100 people, then 100% of oneself, is one of the reasons. And so it was kind of my last gasp. Since I've been out here so long, I get a little bit of everything to cross my desk, come across the wire, what do you want to say, to take a look at it. Now I'll take a look at it, I'll put it on the shelf, and I'll contemplate it. But it took a few months to contemplate this one because it was something I'd never seen. had never heard. And if it was possible to be durable, everybody in the world would take the opportunity. But because of human nature, man kind does not always just jump on something that seems too good to be true. But
Right.
my mindset as a true entrepreneur is that if it's too good to be true, check it out. Give it a once over, bet it, flip it upside down, turn it upside down, and then give it over to someone who's a little bit more in depth than you, and take what they see. Now, everybody won't see what you see, and unpassive is something that you have to grasp for yourself. As well as we know it's going to change the world, not everybody sees through our eyes. So
Right.
we are a little bit different. And your family knows that, your neighbors know that. Most of the people that know you say there's something about Tyra and Rick, those guys just do
Yeah.
not follow what we're following and go in the same steps. So that was a large part of why I got involved, and had to do with the person that was the leader that was going to be the CEO of this marvelous adventure in the company.
Wow, that is really something, Rick, you really hit the nail on the head, because so many people that I have spoken with that have been in any kind of networking type business, home-based businesses, things like that, they are generally extremely frustrated because they really give it their all. They really try. They spend a lot of money, and the reward is like this minute amount. So that was a really big draw, as you said, with On Passive. Do you want to give us a few details as to why On Passive is so different? Because you've touched on a few points there. So what is it about On Passive that's going to be different from other things people may have gotten involved with before?
One of those things is the price point. The price point to get involved with the business opportunity, the venture, is so low. Now, it was even lower at the beginning, but then again, as you begin to put things together, it's still low. But one of the things that Ash had seen through all of his time, and most people through the frustration, and I kind of nail it down to this: it's like putting together a airplane, a model airplane, and you open the box, and it's a nice box, it's wrapped beautifully, and the way the plane is supposed to look is on the outside the box. Well, after you tear into the box, you start putting it together. After some time, you realize when you get to the end, most of the time you have to get to the end after you spend a lot of time and money and effort, they didn't put any glue in the box. And so that's kind of what I've seen over my 35 plus years, is that, and the average person cannot do it. As an educator, I have all kinds of students. I've had hundreds, thousands of students. And at the same time, there might be 30 students in the classroom, and I have the top-notch students, the AP students, and I have those that have difficulty learning, but they have to be able to process it in their own way. So to make it easy, one of those things I've learned over this time is to keep it simple, to where a 10-year-old child can do it, can understand it, to convey it, and not to make it so complicated. When you have, and I don't have no knock against engineers, because I have a daughter that's an engineer, but sometimes the engineering gets in the way. The simplicity is what makes it easier for everybody to grasp. And so that's one of the things that Ash did. And then he put in a little caveat that we've heard before, but it hadn't been followed up with, and that is how simple that it's going to be. And at the same time, one of the things that we all must understand, there is one word that a lot of people don't like to hear, and it's WORK. There is some work involved. There is some due diligence involved. You have to be able, if nothing else, you have to be able to start the engine. Now, what Ash has done with On Passive is be able to have you start the engine and put the gas in the vehicle. The rest of it will be done for you. It's an Uber. A lot of times Uber drivers don't ask you to put the gas in. You just get in, just go, tell them where you want to go. But here, there is a little bit of work that you have to do, and that is get started. Only way for you to fail in On Passive is never get started. There's no other way. If you don't get started, it's the only way that you can fail with On Passive. He's made it that easy. When I say easy, made it simple. Because a lot of times we use the term easy, Some people think I'm not going to have to do anything, but there are some things that you have to do. We're doing it right now, and that's sharing with people. Hardest or the most difficult thing you have to do or ask to do is just share. Share a video, share a link, let somebody else do the talking for you, do the closing for you. That's one of the things that Ash has made possible with the webinars and videos and the different things where people need to have a little bit of due diligence that they might be able to know for themselves. But you have a lot of people. I would say there are millions of people that have seen, maybe a billion people that have seen this opportunity. But at the same time, knowing mankind and knowing what's happened over all these years, I have some people right now in my inner circle, believe it or not, they're just hanging on the fence and just waiting for it to open to where they could say, well, I told you so, or this is just like all the rest of it. But this is not like all the rest of it. The other part is that Ash's vision is not the typical CEO's vision of what he wants. It's not about self, it's about others. Right. And giving and sharing with others is one of the most powerful tools given to man. And that we know it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. So if we look at it in that way, as opposed to what am I going to get out of it? Well, you're going to get out what you put in. I use Zig Ziglar's hashtag, in this life, it be helping other people get what they want. You in turn will get what you want. That's a natural process. That's give and it shall be given unto you. And so that is one of the things that I saw with Ash. Some of the things he's gone through since he got started. He has slings and arrows coming at him from all different directions. I imagine even his family have thought a couple of times, after different situations happen, are we going in the right direction? Are we doing the right thing? We've sacrificed, and that sacrifice is going to pay off for everybody that gets involved. So that's why I'm still stoked about the opportunity. I'm sharing every day with people that I know, see the value of the products, right, and what it can do for mankind, and including where we are right now. We talk about the way that we work, the way that we learn, and the way that we earn has been changed forever for some of the situations we've encountered in the last 2 years. As an educator, I thank God that I was not out there to have to deal with the social media of having people in my classroom and then people on the Zoom calls to deal with just trying to educate the students. So my heart goes out for those students, for those parents that are involved in that process. And I think what Ash has put together will make it simpler, easier, and financially rewarding for all those people that would allow themselves to hear what 1.025 million people have agreed to. Now, to me, that's amazing.
That is something.
That is amazing. My number, I don't know what your number is. My number is 8682. So all those people from that 1.0255 came after I did at the 8682. And then I know a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but there are a few people that lost patience. And patience is a virtue. And those that wait will be rewarded. And those that wait patiently will be rewarded even more so. True. So I just, that's one of the things I want to encourage. I was on a Zoom last night and just to encourage people. Now I see people come in the 11th hour. Yeah. They're ready to go. And then those people that came in the first hour, like myself, like they don't even know. Yeah. But they do know. Yeah. And as many as will get in before the close, and that time is near. We don't know how near, but we know it's nearer than it was yesterday.
Indeed, indeed. Well, you brought up some good points because earlier this morning, I had been reading about different people that refused some major opportunities. We have some of the people that refused for $800 an Apple position. And look what we're looking at today. I just read an article about a gentleman when Bitcoin first started had offered, I don't know what it was, $10,000 for someone to come deliver him a pizza. And so this delivery guy jumped in and, he brought it right over. Well, what is Bitcoin worth today? And that's the thing I've been really seeing on passive has been drawing visionaries. When you start with a company from the ground up, it's building. So you have to be able to have a vision and see things long term. It's not a microwave that you just throw something in and there it is. It's a long term, and we're hitting what, our third year now, and the company has been building and developing these amazing products. So right here, folks, I want to let you know, don't leave us yet, but when we're done, please head over to onpassive.com. This is our company website. It is packed solid with information about our products. There's blogs, there's testimonies, our locations, there's information about our CEO, and you will really see for yourself the amazing company this is. Something else Rick touched on is the heart, the humanity of this company. And I really love that our CEO has set this company up to help others. And you had mentioned earlier on that it's not a big investment. So what you're looking at, folks, is $97 USA to become and secure a founding position. Then upon launching to the public, which we have not done yet, we're in the process, you will be asked to pay a one-time subscription fee of $300 or less. That will be announced to the founders only. And then it's just full steam ahead. The company goes at it and begins to build residual income for you. So Rick, before we leave, I just want to know, what is your future going to look like? Because you've been busy all these, 40 plus years, and, we're not getting any younger. I mean, I'm getting whiter as I go. What's your future going to look like? Because this is going to be really life-changing for you. So just give us a little bit there, Rick.
My whole deal is legacy. I'm a father, husband, grandfather. And so to leave something as a legacy for those that have given to me and for me to turn around and give to others. It's been such a blessing to be a part of this organization here and others, and people that have been imparted in my life over these years. So at the same time, the cause of helping someone else, that's why we're here. That's why we're on this planet, is to help others. And so we can do more when we have more. And that's what OnPassive and Ashby Farr has sought to see, that there is a way, there's enough to go around. We talk about trillions, but most of the time it's in deficits. But there will be, I believe personally, there will be a couple of trillionaires that are birthed out of OnPassive, that we can help more people, and it doesn't have to always come from the hand of the government. At the same time, that is a passion of mine, to not only just help those that are in my family, but to help other families and other people. And that's why we're here. And that's what Ash's heart is toward everyone that he encounters. And you can see that it oozes from this young man, that he truly has been called for such a time as this. And he has come with a plan. I had a headmaster before would tell me, he said, Coach Young, if you come with a problem, you need to bring the answer with it. So at the same time, you give thought to what you're getting ready to do, and always have an answer to the perceived problem that you have. A lot of times it's not a problem, it's an opportunity. Right. So a lot of people, there are a lot of opportunity right now out there, and there are a million people at least right now in OnPassive that has the answer to those problems. Most of the time, we know that 95% of people's problems stem from the lack of money, not too much of it, but the lack thereof. And so this is a way to fill that void. And we want to continue as we can to share with as many people that will hear what we have to say. And for me, this is what we have. This is what it will do for you. And this is how you get it or get started. So those three principles, those three simple, this is what we have, this is what it'll do for you, and this is how you get started or get involved with this wonderful venture. So,
oh, that's marvelous. You know, that is such a key when you brought up legacy, because
yeah,
so often we go through our lives, you know, trading our time for a paycheck, and all of a sudden I'm 60, I'm 65, it's time to retire, and I barely have a few eggs in my basket, you know, because we all know time just flies, doesn't it? And to be able
it
to
seems
come
like.
in to such an opportunity and create a legacy, as you said, as a father, you know, your role as a husband is to care for your family, as a father and grandpa. Like, wow, what an opportunity that is going to be, and to be able to help your children, the generations after you. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So this has been just marvelous, Rick. You know, I really see your heart. I really see that coach, that heart of wanting to help people. And it really sounds like On Passive has become a home for you because of the kind of company it is. So in closing, Rick, if you and I were sitting across having a coffee and I said, hey, I'm on the fence about On Passive, what would you say to me in closing?
What I'd say to you is that taking from my experience and Tyra's experience and all those that you have heard, because as we're saying to them, they have heard more than one or two times. So it's third party validation. Sometimes they won't listen to you, that they'll listen to somebody else, which that brings in like, you know, I know Aunt Tyra, I know Uncle Rick or Coach Young or whatever. And he's a pretty good guy and everything, but I want to hear from somebody that has more, no more, whatever. So third party validation is very important. And sometimes those people we can't reach, they will be reached by someone else. But then again, at the same time, we just want them to get in the boat. This whole process is to get as many people in the boat as you can to take them to where they really, really want to go, but they just don't know how to go there themselves. So we must be consistent with it and persistent with it, not overbearing, but give them enough for them to make the decision. No one wants to be felt they were pressured into anything. But as On Passive has grown over these 3 years, where it was not even something on a piece of paper or a napkin, and now we're talking about over 1 million people in a unicorn company before we open, and a super unicorn in the first 5 or 10 years. And then when you see all the other companies that have come before On Passive, it's amazing to do that comparison with how long it took all the other ones to get where they are, and to think that this company, with all of the people that have participated, and everybody has a sense, not really a sense of urgency, but let's do it right. That's one of the things I like about Ashby Farr. He crosses every T, he dots every I, and he double checks. It's like my dad was a carpenter. He always made sure that you measure twice and cut once. That's what Ash is doing.
I love it, Rick. That was awesome. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. We have a good full page of takeaways here because you have really made things very clear. So folks, please, if you're interested, as I said, visit onpassive.com, check out our company website, reach out to Rick or myself. We would be more than happy to help you, and go ahead and share this video with people that are indeed sitting on the fence and maybe need to hear that third party confirmation that get in and you'll win is our main motto, if you will. So once again, Rick, thank you very much. I so appreciate your time and what you've shared with us today.
Likewise, Tara. Thank you for the invitation to share.
Awesome. See you, everyone. Bye for now.